future generation,
Yes.
our future musicians, our future usher team, our future media team. It's been so inspiring, and watching them really gain an insight of what the ministry is all about, and watching them fall in love with the ministry.
Yes.
Like if you see the game faces on our youth, they really got it down. If you see their eagerness, wow, it's so inspiring to see.
Good.
And when we've come to learn about servanthood, or just like anything I learned in youth, I try to apply it to my life. You know, anything I gain in youth, I try to put it into my day-to-day. And when it came to servanthood, the concept of servanthood, it was easy to grasp, but there was something about the nature of servanthood that I had to come to understand in order to truly apply it to my life.
That's right.
And it was that becoming a better servant wasn't measured by how hard I was trying, because from when I was learning it and trying to apply it to my life, I was trying so hard. But I had come to learn that it wasn't measured by how hard I was trying, yet by how much I was willing to surrender.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay? Say surrender.
Surrender.
Okay. I feel, or maybe this is relatable or not, but whenever I make a choice to improve any aspect of my life, I always try to do the most, you know. I always try so hard to implement new things into my life. And I think some of us can relate, like, we want to see improvement, so we add things to our routine, add things to our schedule. Like maybe we want to lose weight and we're adding cardio, we're adding the 30-minute walk to our mornings and our nights, but we don't want to surrender our eating habits. We don't want to surrender our laziness. Maybe we want to save money, but we don't want to surrender sports bet or surrender going to the pokies. And just like servanthood, I had to come to realize that I needed to stop trying so hard and I needed to start surrendering deeper.
Yes.
And so the point I strive to emphasize is to stop trying and start surrendering. Stop
Trying
and start surrendering.
Nice.
Loudly, stop
Trying
and start
surrendering.
Awesome. Okay. So when it comes to applying any biblical concept, I find myself going back to one man in the Bible who serves to be the greatest example. Okay? And in Matthew 20 verse 28 it says, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and surrender his life as a ransom for many. Okay, I'll say that again. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and surrender his life as a ransom for many. Jesus' whole life exemplified the ultimate servant, and that even his death was an act of service.
Yes, that's right.
And see why I love the story of Jesus's surrendering is because although we could never measure up to the servant that Jesus was, we can resonate and we can relate to the suffering that he went through.
That's good.
Because even Jesus struggled with surrendering. See, the story reveals his human nature. Because in his human state, Jesus was so evidently distressed. He says, my soul is overwhelmed to the point of death. Okay, this is what Jesus is saying because he is so overwhelmed with surrendering to God's will. He says, my soul is overwhelmed to the point of death. But see, in Luke 22:42, he says, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done.
That's right.
See, when Jesus said, not my will, but yours be done, he wasn't just praying, he was crying. And he wasn't just crying, he was weeping. And he wasn't just weeping, he was sweating. And he was sweating blood. Okay? He was sweating blood. The Bible tells us he prayed more fervently. And his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. He offered prayers and pleading with a loud cry and tears to the one who could rescue him from his death. Yet still, in the same breath of, take this cup from me, take this suffering from me, he said, but not my will, but yours.
That's good.
That's right.
He surrendered his own will to God, knowing that his Father knew what was best. See, we can acknowledge that surrendering is never easy. It's never easy. No matter how big, no matter how small, it's never easy because look at Jesus, even he suffered with it. Even he wrestled with surrendering. Amen?
Amen.
And we surrendering. I know I face challenges with surrendering, and we all face it for different reasons that are unique to ourselves. Like for myself, I can say that surrendering is hard for me because I feel as if I serve, but I'm not seeing any results. Like I'm met with disappointment, and for me also, it's also about maintaining a sense of control over my own decisions and my own life. So that's why it's hard for me to surrender. And surrendering for me became like a bargain with God, and I would try to compromise with God. And I'll say things to myself like, God, if you give me a job, I will surrender my life to you. And I still have a job because I'm not putting the surrendering first, I'm putting the job first, okay? I'm saying, give me a job and then I'll surrender. And when I was hiring, I'm a girl. And I had to surrender my expectations of what God has planned for me.
Yeah.
And because yes, I desired becoming more Christ-like and improving my servanthood, but I also desired serving in ways that I wanted to, in times that I wanted to, in times that were convenient for me. But I was not willing to surrender one for the other, okay? I wanted both. I wanted to serve how I wanted, and I wanted to improve my servanthood. But surrendering and servanthood go hand in hand. And so a verse that helped me combat this like deeply rooted mindset, this was, I prayed the prayer of, give me a job please and I'll get right with you. So many times, too many times actually. But I stopped that prayer because I know someone in here is going to give me a job. I know someone will bless me with a job. And so this is the verse that reminded me, that was a good reminder to me. It was James 4 verse 14, and it says, how do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. See, this verse touches on the fragility of life itself, and it's a reminder that life is so brief. It is so short, and it is nothing compared to the eternity that we will spend with God.
Yeah.
And since it is nothing compared to the eternity that we'll spend with God, it is so important to use the little time we have on earth to prioritize servanthood to God. And when we look at how the Bible characterizes servanthood, it is characterized by humility. And so it was characterized by humility. I had to surrender my pride.
Yeah.
And pride was very big for me. Like, I didn't even like surrendering the last word in an argument. So to surrender my pride so that I may become humble was such a big step for me. I'm still working on that as well. And because it was characterized as selflessness, I had to surrender my selfish desires. Because it was characterized by obedience, I had to surrender my need to control every situation. And when surrendering to me, it seemed like a loss, or it seemed like I was losing something, or it seemed too hard. But countless times in the Bible, we are reminded of the unchanging and generous God which we serve, and the outcomes of servanthood which is far greater than anything that we can surrender.
Yeah.
He reminds us, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. It says, commit to the Lord and He will establish your plans. In all your ways submit to Him and He will make paths straight. Humble yourselves before the Lord and He will lift you up in honor. So let us take up the same attitude of Jesus and give up our own will. And even as I stand up here before you, I'm giving up my will, because if it was my will, I would definitely not be up here. But let us take up the same attitude of Jesus and surrender our will, knowing of the goodness that is sure to follow, and declare that not my will, but yours be done.
Yes.
See, when we live by this, we yield ourselves to God's wisdom, trusting Him to work out what's best for our lives. And so I want to challenge you to stop trying and to start surrendering. Say that with me. Stop trying.
Stop
and
trying.
start surrendering. One more time. Stop trying and start surrendering.